There is no more appropriate person than Lee Mahavier Peterman to deliver the opening address at this 15th Conference on the Legacy of R.L. Moore. A dyed-in-the-wool member of the Moore community by both blood and temperament, Lee earned her bachelor's and master's degrees in mathematics from Auburn University. She has taught at Auburn, Georgia State, and Emory Universities, at DeKalb College and Gwinnett Technical Institute, and at Meadow Creek and Cross Keys High Schools in metropolitan Atlanta, all of those. In the fall, she will begin her new duties as a mathematics teacher at Goose Creek Memorial High School in the Goose Creek Consolidated Independent School District in Baytown, Texas. For the remainder of her connections to the Moore family, let me quote her. My dad, the late William S. Bill Mahavier, got his PhD from Dr. Moore. My mom got her bachelor's degree in mathematics at Rice University and later also took courses from Dr. Moore. My brother got his PhD from John Neuberger and is a professor at Lamar University. By the way, for those of you who are new, I apologize for not identifying the owners of the names I'm throwing out, but you will meet many of these people here during the 3 days of the conference, and I'll let them introduce themselves to you. My thesis was done under Coke Reed. Much of my undergraduate math work was done under the late Ben Fitzpatrick. For so long as I have known her, Lee has been a vehement advocate of the value of inquiry-based learning in general and the Moore method in particular at all levels of instruction. She is also a warm and wonderful person to get to know, so it gives me great pleasure to turn the podium over to her right now. Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas. Thank you, Jackie Jensen, for giving me the opportunity to speak here today. It's a real honor, especially considering there's so many people in this room that I've learned so much from. I like the theme of this year's conference, the many faces of inquiry-based learning, because today I'm going to show you faces that you might not first think of when you think about Moore method. I'm going to show you some of the ninth graders that I've had for the past year. I'm going to show you how I use Moore method in my high school classes and show you just what I and my students do. What does Moore method look like in a ninth grade classroom? I'm going to show you these three key areas: the importance of the classroom atmosphere, just how I do discovery lessons, and what I consider the most visible, the major, if I had to just put it in one word, the most important thing of seeing Moore method in my classroom is board work. For the atmosphere, I set up what I call a community of learners. What do you think of that understatement? Sam Houston referring to any office or honor which he later held. I think that shows how important our job is in the high school classroom, that we hold these children's futures in our hands. And our hero, Sam Houston, recognized that. What I consider the three crucial elements of Moore method are caring about the students, respect for learning, and enthusiasm in the classroom. These were the themes that I saw all my life as I heard my father talk about his students, heard my father talk about the courses he had at University of Texas, and saw my own professors at Auburn show me. This is what I thought Moore method was before I heard about theorem sequences. Caring about the students. Praise your students. They want you to be proud of them. They're developing their own sense of accomplishment. Respect for learning. It's a joy and a privilege to learn. Learning is a reverent activity. It needs and it deserves one's full attention. And enthusiasm in the classroom. Show excitement for new ideas and let the students own their ideas. My father said that one of the most important pieces of advice is try to get everybody to the board on the first day. In this short clip, you will see a student who created her own way to solve a problem. She was supposed to add a positive number plus a negative number. She worked a really long time on it. She was really proud of herself. And you'll also see me trying to create a supportive atmosphere. This is Jessica's amazing solution. Okay, this is the second week of school. It's the 6th day of school, and Jessica is going to show how she did her question. Go ahead, Jessica.
Yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
I don't want to.
Come on, Jessica.
It's too much.
You don't have to do the whole thing again. Just tell us how you did it. What was your question?
I have to figure out 35 plus negative 92.
And what was your idea for how to do it?
Add a job. Big number line.
Wow. Wait, let's get in close at this big number line. And how did you end up finding the answer?
I had to count so much.
And you counted and you got the answer what? What was your answer?
Negative 62.
And was it right?
Yeah.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Juan can check your answers and you can keep it. You have anything else to say?
No.
Okay, thank you, Jessica. I'm proud of you. You will see in the next clip one aspect of my Moore Method class. There's actually nothing to hear in this clip. They're just talking in the background. A teacher visiting my classroom said on this day, see how everyone is working? And I said, yeah. And he said, but everyone in the classroom is working. Like that wasn't the normal thing that you would see. And this is because I give my students responsibilities. For example, they have classroom jobs, and it's always noted that my students are all engaged and my classes run fairly smoothly. I have a classroom librarian, a classroom secretary, a classroom policeman, and so forth. And in this day, they're in 3 groups. And what you'll see here is just the result of having the Moore Method classroom that you'll see more about as I go through my talk today.
And for the second one is the other one is 5 plus 1 minus 2. 5 minus 2 plus 3. 4.
Here you'll see real mathematical discourse at the 9th grade level. The full class is involved in an argument about 5x plus negative 5x. Now take a moment, check with your neighbor, see if you agree about 5x plus negative 5x, because you're going to hear some serious discussion of it. Here the students are leading the class while I am simply observing.
Okay. 2x squared plus x squared equals 3x squared, and 5x plus minus 5x equals negative 5. Negative 5x minus 1 plus 7 equals 6. That's the answer.
Yes, I got a question. Isn't the x squared plus x squared supposed to be 2, 4? No? Negative 10.
I got 0. I got
Second one.
Oh my God. 5 plus negative 5 equals 0.
No.
Yes.
Negative 10.
Oh my God. Yes.
No.
I got a 0.
Negative 10. Right? No. Negative 10.
Yes, ¿qué más así se llama? Corrigió.
No. No. -0.
Oh my God. Busca una calculadora.
Es negativo 0, ya lo dije.
Everything is correct.
Positive 5.
Plus
Negative
plus
5.
negative 5.
Positive 5 plus negative 5. ¿Cuánto es?
-10.
Really?
Zero.
No.
Zero, man.
That's what the right answer.
No. The one is invisible. No.
Es 0.
Es
No.
zero. Yeah,
No. No.
So do you have any questions?
The answer was 0. Well, you saw two boys walking around. One went to get a calculator and another went to check the number line. On days like this, I have to look at my motto. The students needs guide instruction within the period. Now, you have, as a high school teacher, you have a very strict curriculum and you have a very strict time setting. So when somebody says, well, start at their level, that's not realistic. But within the 45-minute period or 90-minute period or 55-minute period, let the students guide the instruction. Have you seen some of the 3 crucial elements so far in the videos? The elements of caring about the students, respect for learning, and enthusiasm in the classroom should be evident throughout a Moore Method classroom at any age level. The second thing I'm going to talk about are Moore Method lessons. The first quote there is my favorite quote, and the one that's always on my bulletin board in my classroom. You know how professors try to put pithy quotes on their door? Well, the last quote that my dad had stuck on his door when I cleaned out his office was torn out of a math journal. I don't know which journal or what year. It was from Ethan Bolker of University of Massachusetts at Boston, and it was, "It dawned on me that my students struggle quite as hard at the edge of what they can comprehend as we do when we do new mathematics." That's important. My father, after 50 years of teaching, was reminding himself to put himself at their level, and I have to remind myself. It's a real challenge for them to think about that 5x plus negative 5x. And they were working hard on it. And every student in that classroom, including the gangsters, they were working on it. And my own quote, "If they aren't learning, you aren't teaching." So here we'll see exactly how do I do it. My brother gave a talk one year called, "I like what you said, but what do you do?" So I'll try to show you what I do. These are some of the elements I use in a high school Moore Method lesson plan. In a college inquiry-based learning class, you would expect to see axioms. And from those axioms, the students are told to go home and prove some theorems. Well, in high school, we call that vocabulary. And the whole concept may be included in a vocabulary word. So I'll give them the vocabulary, and then they'll go work on it. In between those two things I just said, I did not say, and then I do an example, and then I give a lecture. I said, I'll give them the vocabulary, and then I'll give them some questions about it. In a college class, you're expected to prove things. Well, you know what one way of proving you're right is? Checking. If X is 4, even if you know that because you copied it from Jonathan, you can prove that you're right by replacing 4 in the equation and getting something true like 12 equals 12. We've also had discussions about whether 12 equals 12. Another story. But checking is proof, isn't it? Checking is proof. And guided discovery learning activities is the primary way that I impart my lessons to the students through guided discovery. This is not a perfect lesson, but it's an example of how I introduced factoring out the greatest common factor after the 9th graders had learned to distribute. I refer here to factoring as the opposite of distributing. A better word would be inverse. That's a little bit of a big word at their level. So you will hear me say opposite. All right, everybody. Today we're going to learn factor. Repeat.
Factor.
Factor is a noun and a verb.
Fact.
What?
Fact.
What did I say?
Factor.
Is a
Noun.
and a
Verb.
okay.
Verb.
What are the factors of 6?
12.
Those are multiples.
I mean, no.
Try again.
1
6.
times
Right. 1 times 6. What else?
2.
3, yeah.
Anything else? Okay. So the factors of 6 are
2 and 3.
right.
Bring me a dark color.
And what's the last one?
6. And 6.
Ta-da! Any questions?
No.
Okay. When factor is a verb, it's telling you to do that. Okay? And it is the opposite of distribute. Everybody repeat.
Distribute. Distribute.
Okay. So, I need 2 volunteers from our audience.
Can I pick them?
Well, they have to volunteer, so they have to raise their hand.
Daddy, miss.
No.
She raised her hand like
They
this.
said that we have to raise our hand if we want to.
You're raising your hand.
Who wants to distribute?
I'll do it.
Thank you, Russell.
I should get bonus because nobody volunteered. Oh, I have to go practice.
I'm always telling people how Russell is the best one. Ta-da! It's gold.
Hell no.
Of course. All right. I have the clip of the rest of the lesson. It went on for me to then write Russell's answer equals and a blank. Actually a blank, a parentheses, and another blank, and I asked Joanna to fill in the blank, which the answer was right there, and that took another 15 minutes. Here you'll see me supporting a student who was supposed to have learned yesterday how to solve a quadratic equation by factoring. Note in this clip that I never tell him the answer, even though my 9-year-old nephew knew the answer when he looked at this clip a couple days ago. I just let Juan think it out for himself. Okay, recording. Okay, so let's check your answer. 11 minus 6 times 11 plus 5. What's 11 minus 6? Hey, I have something for you. What's 11 minus 6?
5.
Okay, good. What's 11 plus 5?
11 plus 5 is 16.
Good. If you multiply those together, do you get 0?
No.
Okay, so that didn't work. So let's think of another number. What number minus 6 and then you multiply is going to give you 0?
0.
Okay, you want to try 0?
Yeah.
Okay, so 0 minus 6 times 0 plus 5. What's 0 minus 6?
6.
Are you sure?
0.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
If you have 0 and you go to the left on the number line, 6,
It's gonna be
go to the left.
negative.
Okay, good. And now, what's 0 plus 5?
5.
Okay, and now you multiply those together.
It's gonna be negative 0.
Well, you're right about the negative because you've got one negative. Okay, what's 6 times 5?
6 times 5 is 30.
Good, okay. Is that 0?
No.
Darn. Okay, so let's keep thinking about it. What number minus 6 will give you a number, and then you multiply and you get 0.
3.
You want to try 3? Okay, you try 3. I'm going to help Miss Porter. I'll be right back. I do have the rest of this clip, and 10 minutes later, he got both solutions. X equals 6, and the other solution, x equals -5, came much more quickly to him once he had grasped the concept. I try very hard not to say wrong to the students. My father went to college with a real high opinion of himself. Maybe not as high as my opinion of myself, but pretty high. And when he got there and he went to the board and didn't know what he was doing, if Dr. Moore had just shot him down, I don't think my father would have had the success that he ended up having. One day my father was at the board in Dr. Moore's class, and Dr. Moore started looking out the window and talking about the squirrels on campus. And my dad was like really annoyed, and Dr. Moore kept doing it. And he kept talking about, look at those squirrels on the campus. And my dad was pretty obviously annoyed, but finally the bell rang, and Dr. Moore said, oh, we're out of time. Mr. Mahavier, you may take this up again tomorrow. So my dad thought, stupid old man, went home, looked at his notes and thought, there is a huge hole in this proof. In fact, it is not a proof. So came back the next day. Dr. Moore said, would you like to come back and finish now, Mr. Mahavier? And my father said, if you don't mind, I'm going to start over. And Dr. Moore, with a completely straight poker face, said, that's fine. So face was saved for my father. Another activity I frequently do in the class is error analysis. I'll write an error on the board, take a different color marker, put a big X through it, and write what is the error. So the students discuss what's wrong with it. Not just how you do it right, but what's wrong with it. Now, how do I give the lesson? I don't tell the students for 2 reasons. 1, it does not work. 2, it would be anti-motivational and unfair for me to require them to justify their work and then just say, well, believe me on this. So I set up discovery learning activities, and in this clip you'll see a triangle, a proof that the triangle has the sum of the measures of the 3 interior angles is 180 degrees. Okay, so everybody glued it. There, that's not the angle, that's the angle. So let's push these closer together. And can you put that one in there so the angle goes together? Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay, now get ready for the cool part. Alright, are you looking? Alright, here's mine. I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line it up. And my angles, it makes a straight line. Yours makes a straight line. Take your ruler.
It makes a straight line.
It makes a straight line?
Yes.
And hers makes a straight line.
Oh, it does.
Does it?
Yeah.
It does. So, didn't I tell everybody to make a different triangle?
Yes.
If we all got the same straight line, does that mean you copied me?
No.
You copied Juan?
No.
And why did we all get the same thing?
Because we all good.
Oh.
They have the line. Same, equal.
They all have.
So Leslie goes on to answer that question, and we discovered that even though we all had completely different triangles, every one of them came out to 180 degrees. My father used to say, could you learn to swim by listening to a lecture on swimming? And Coke Reed, my major professor, used to say, to learn what a proof is, you have to see a lot of things that are not proofs. This is one of my favorite lessons. The day before this video clip, we had learned that the equation y equals mx plus b. Ta-da! Okay. Ta-da. And now, show everybody the amazing discovery we made yesterday. The slope was what?
It's the first number, no, the number that goes with the x.
Everybody. This quote from Dr. Ettlinger was my signature on my school email the past year. So in the next few clips, I'll show you how I get the high school students to do the college-style board presentations, and I put them in 3 categories. I call them beginning, getting there, and woohoo. I do have a handout sheet that Norma has made available to you in the handout room, and it's a whole page of the general guidelines I use for the board presentations. I teach my students to ask for questions and how to ask questions. I give them example questions. Sometimes put them on sentence strips on the wall so they can look up at those and have an idea of some good questions to ask. My mother says that she remembers Dr. Moore always saying things like, well, I don't see how you got this from that, or I don't see how this follows from that. So that's a very professional way to have a conversation with a student about their work. This is the first week of school, and I'm showing the class the routine that we'll have all year for board work. This is last fall. This is an English language learner class. That's why I'll be speaking very slowly and sometimes in Spanish. Okay, let me have your attention. Attention. Leslie, that's wrong. Listen. Okay, listen. Good, Monse, good. Okay, listen. Escuche. Listen. Every day in my class, you go to the board, vaya a tu salón, and you explain. For example, Jali will read her question and explain her answer. This is 30% of your grade. It's called performance. You understand my English? You understand my English? You understand my English? ¿Verdad? Okay. Rachel, ¿necesitas explique en español o está bien? ¿Cómo? ¿Es okay? Okay, so todos los días vaya a Pizarrón y explique. Y Rachel, la primera semana es okay, explique en español, okay? And here you'll see the level at which we begin. Okay, listen to Rachel, please. Okay, read the question. Okay, draw. Ray. CF. My picture is. Ta-da. Thank you. Okay. Now say, do you have questions? So we start very low level. In the getting there category, I teach the students to question the speaker for accuracy, for completeness, for clarity. If there are no questions from the class, then I'll ask questions. I'll often give a hint by saying, well, I have questions. Don't you have questions? And then they know, oh, yeah, there's something I'm supposed to ask. And they get bonus points for questions, so they'll look for those. And here you'll also see me trying to move Giovanni toward precise use of language.
There's a line, and I cross this out, it should be like, it is important, so I choose that instead.
Well, I have a whole bunch of questions, but I'm going to let the other people go first. Oh, come on, people. I said you'd get double bonus for questions. Come on, people. Ask a question. Okay, here's my question. Why did you say change the sign? What are you talking about change? You can just change numbers?
Change what sign?
I don't know. I don't know. You said I changed the sign.
Yeah, I changed it.
Oh, you replaced f of x with 3?
Fx with 3.
Okay, that's cool. That's true. Okay, so why did you put plus 11?
Plus 11?
Yeah.
Because, like, I gotta, like, cross that out. Like, you gotta do the opposite.
Oh.
So whatever you do here, you gotta do this side.
Oh. Okay, that's my next question. What do you mean cross out?
It cancels itself off because you get no answer at the end.
A positive and a negative
Yeah.
is going to be 0. Like for example, like negative 11 and positive 11 is going to be 0.
Oh, that's true.
Cross it out.
Oh, so that's what you meant by cross it out.
So there's like no number, so this is on.
It won't equal anything.
Okay.
That's it?
Okay, that's it. Another area students must be coached in my class to do successful board work is to believe in their own defense. Here I watch closely Kevin's hand signals to the class as he listens to what I tell him.
Like when he told you to change that, you were very nice and you changed it to make him happy. But you could have also told him that you were right, that means time. Okay? So you were both right. Okay? And now, you're right again. So your answer should be, I wrote the 11 because f of 3 equals 11. And if anybody's not happy with that, they might be happier if you wrote it over here. I don't know. But you know what? There you go. Now, if they don't understand, then you can show them another way. But let's work on your confidence.
Yeah, because I was like, wait.
I understand.
All right, was there anything else? Everybody good? Who's left? Giovanni, good?
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
We'll see Kevin a little later. Remember Rachel that couldn't speak any English? Well, in this clip, she hasn't learned English yet, and there really isn't anything to hear here. But watch as she runs across the room and pounds on the board to make her point and yells at the class.
Mírate a ti, mírate. Tú subiste y te pusieron 2 primero y después tienes que hacer el 0. Entonces mira ahí. Mira, ¿qué me puse ahí?
In my class, one way is not better than another. It would crush a 9th grader's interest to say, yeah, you're right, but here's a neater, shorter way. Here you'll see Giovanni and Sylvia contrasting their two approaches to the same exercise.
Yeah, how did you know the answer was 7?
Because you have to like basically divide any number that goes into 2 for it equal 14, and that was 7. And then once you get 7 into the 14, then you minus the 3 and it equals 11.
Where did the 14 from?
Because you multiply 2 times 7 is 14, and then you minus it in 3, and then that equals 11.
Your problem is so confusing.
No, your problem is confusing.
Okay, so Giovanni likes his better and Sylvia likes hers better, which is cool, right?
Which one do you like better, mine or hers?
I liked them both. I was
No, you gotta pick one.
No, I don't like one better than the other. I like them both. And now we're at the woohoo level. This is where we want the class to be. Here, Jennifer is respectfully fielding questions.
Jennifer, your turn.
My turn?
Yay.
Okay. AX minus 5 squared. So square means to divide it 2 times. So AX minus 5 times AX minus 5. AX times AX equals 6A squared.
And you forgot the egg down there too.
Okay.
I got a question. Can I ask a question, miss?
No, not yet. And then ax times negative 5 equals negative 40x. Negative 5 times ax equals negative 40x. And negative 5 times negative 5 equals 25. And then you you add this because negative and negative is a negative. Yeah. So you just bring this one down because there's no like sign. And then negative 40 x minus 40 x equals negative 80 x. And then you bring out the 25 because there's no like sign.
8 times 8.
Question.
8
8 times 8 is 64.
Got a question. Wait, no mind.
Booyah, bonus for Joel.
No.
I was doing a side, not you. So, is there probably you want to take it outside?
Any other questions?
No. I think I have one.
Which one?
Do I get bonus for your own?
Why did she just brought the 25 down?
Because there's no more like
It doesn't have like terms, so you have to bring it down.
Any other questions?
None.
No.
She answered each question, and then she asked if they had more questions. Here's Kevin. There's not much to hear, but watch his body language again. Remember Kevin before gaining confidence.
Okay, the equation is f of x equals 3x plus 2. F of 3 equals 3 times 3 plus 2, and then I got 11 equals 9 plus 2. Yeah, so that's all. Any more questions? Yes? Yes, or you?
So how do we know if we multiply on the f of the what is your out
Together. Any more questions? Yes.
Why do you put the 11 in front of it?
Okay.
people that you
In this last clip, the question was to graph a line given two intercepts. You'll see Joel walking around the room because he's responsible for monitoring the board work this morning. And Vladimir wants to know the slope, which has nothing to do with the question and was not the question. Also, you'll notice me indicating that speed is not a priority.
That's why I just asked her, but she keeps telling me to the book.
What?
I already said it.
This is the end.
Okay. Where's the slope? Yeah.
What is the
Where's the slope? No, answer the question. The slope.
slope?
Yes.
They're not asking you for a slope.
But I'm asking, where is the line intersection?
Okay, make something.
What? They asked you about the slope.
Excuse me.
No, this is
Go back and ask the slope.
Okay, the slope is.
Forgato, what is that?
The slope.
Why do you go over 3 has to be a dead, order pair? That's cool. Yeah.
Jennifer, tienes que hacer el triangulito. La línea.
Al otro lado.
Ey, eso se hace para donde quiera.
No, me too.
All right, you guys give her time to answer the question. Give her time to answer the question.
So how much you rise and you slow?
Hurry up.
No, she doesn't have to hurry up.
So, ¿cuánto es 2 sobre 3? I mean,
Huh?
2 sobre 3.
Will you can't. That's the answer. Thank you.
It's not that slow.
0.5.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, 0.7.
Hey, Mr. You recording?
That's not 0.5.
7. I think I have 0.7.
0.7.
Finally. Now can you explain how you got it?
This led to a discussion since the slope was 3 over 2, not 2 over 3. And 2 over 3 does not equal 0.7. It's about 0.7. So we got a lot out of that. So throughout the clips you saw today, I hope you saw the 3 crucial elements as the overriding atmosphere in the class. Now the big question, which I intentionally waited until Lee May was trying to drag me off the stage, is what about the TAC, STAR, EOCT, ABCD, EFG? High stakes tests. It's what everybody wants to know. Well, sure, that looks like fun, but what about these tests? I know you don't want to be in this situation. This is what happens if you don't teach to the standards. Things in the course is pink. Things I studied is purple. Things on the exam is green, and there is a tiny, tiny intersection. Okay, y'all can laugh now at my joke. This is another favorite quote of mine, and this is my answer to what about those high-stakes tests. I've taught my kids to think, and my kids ace the test, as seen by this bar graph. The blue are my school, my county, my state for 3 years. The red is another English language learner teacher at my school, non-English language learner teacher at my school, 2 other teachers at my school, the average of all non-Mahavier teachers at my school, and the green one is me. My algebra, this is math 1, and my algebra 1 results were also the best in the school, even though my kids didn't even speak English. With this start in 9th grade, Mr. Lucas pointed out to me the students are set to succeed in high school, college, and beyond.